Okay. I moved in with my grandmother because my ex boyfriend's stepmother was obsessed with him, I guess. And bitch, you shouldn't have. But anyway, I thought she was my friend, right? She was really like, it's not incest if he gets me pregnant. Right after my ex-boyfriend's dad died, we planned to have a baby. It was like the last time that we like made this big plan. I still had that thing that happens when you lose a baby and you kind of just want another one. And right after the flood, we had done that already, planned on it, not, you know. And then when his dad died, we were like, we'll name him after his dad if it's a boy and all this shit. And it made his stepmom, I can't fucking talk. It made his stepmother fucking weird as fucking highly inappropriate. Again, I thought she had been my friend, a bunch of stuff. Just take my word for it. She wasn't my friend. She was, because I thought she was my friend though, and she had just lost a husband. I didn't think I had anything to fucking worry about. Why would I think that? It's his stepmom. And she kind of looked like a fucking raisin, if I'm really honest. She had huge tits, but raisin. It didn't take long for my ex-boyfriend to become physically abusive. He snapped out of this little funk he was in. Not funk. After his dad passed away, the guy was like in shock, man. Right? And he was like really positive at first. He was just trying to be strong and positive, and it didn't last long. And that's when we had made the plan to, you know, have a baby and blah, 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 blah. We moved in with the stepmom, blah, 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 blah. She was fucking stupid, blah, 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 blah. Bitch, you really shouldn't have. But anyway. I thought she was my friend, and she knew about my history with my ex when he would get abusive, and she would pretend to have all this sympathy for me. And my grandmother always told me you can't trust anyone. Well, that's not true. I can trust you. And she said, Amber, you can't trust anyone. So when I was living with my ex-boyfriend's stepmom and my ex-boyfriend, some shit went down one time. He thought I was disrespecting his dad's table. This thing was piled full of shit. I cleaned. That's what I do. You can't. I'll clean your house. I'll redecorate your fucking house for you, whether or not you want me to. So I cleaned off this table and I polished it, so it was just quite rich. That he thought I was disrespecting his dad's table, but whatever. And he choked me, knocked me right out of my shoes, and it was particularly disturbing because it was the first time he ever choked me that way. He choked me from the like he came at me and like, you know, and we had like this giant like crescent moon, like the way the confrontation, it was like a giant fucking crescent moon. And I ended up in the laundry room, and he like shoved me so hard down that when I hit the door frame, I had this fucking gnarly crescent moon shaped bruise on my lower back. An odd coincidence, but anyway. After I was on the ground, he came at me again, and his stepmother walked into the kitchen and she was like, hey, that's not okay. Huh. And I crawled over to my shoes. And I was like, man, what am I gonna do? I'm not safe here. I have nowhere to go. I'm not safe here though. A couple days after that, my ex-boyfriend wanted some tacos or some shit, some burgers, I don't know. He didn't have any money, and I did, so, because I never stopped working, right? After the flood, I kept my doll, selling doll clothes thing. It was still, it worked, right? And I was trying to preserve his fucking dignity. I wasn't gonna just like give him some money. So I was like, yeah, me too, yeah, okay. So we go get some burgers, and I buy the burgers, and on the way back home he said something about my dad, and I didn't even think, I just reacted. It's like, I mean, I just like whoosh, as hard as I could backhanded him because I was in the passenger seat. And let me tell you, I thought so many things. First thing I thought was, that's where I've been, I'm back now, you know, like what the, because I'm just not the kind of person that ever really thought I'd end up in a relationship where I just never thought that would happen to me. That was kind of tough, you know? And I backhanded him, and blood gushed, and I was kind of fucking proud of myself. That's what you get for talking about my dad, you know? But I jumped out of the car so fast because I knew better. I knew I was in trouble, you know? And I walked home, and we weren't that far from home, but that really pissed him off, obviously. So he ended up going across town and staying in our flooded house, and he knew that I was getting my medicine filled, my prescriptions, one of which was a prescription for Adderall. He picked up my prescription, right? And he stayed above the flooded house because it still had supplies and stuff in it because I had been staying there. Before I moved in with when his dad died, I moved in with him and his stepmom. That's where he had been living. And right at the time I found out I had bird mites. I'm not even gonna, you just gotta know about bird mites. I'm not even gonna try. But anyway, all of my supplies was, it was still fucking stocked full of shit, okay? So he was staying there. It was about 5 days he was staying there. Meanwhile, you know, those motherfuckers drink every night. I don't really drink. There was one night I drank. Honestly, I was really tired of, sorry. Basically, his stepmother was saying that my ex was checking out her tits. And anytime he would like get up and go into the house, she would like apologize and act all demure. And I pretended like I didn't know what she was saying because I didn't know what to do with that. And just like when she said, oh, if he got me pregnant, it wouldn't be incest. I didn't know what to do with that either. And I thought, her husband just died. She's in shock. You know? So yeah, one night I had gotten tired of her fucking like, or one time she was putting on her tap shoes and she like, just, oh my God, it was like a fucking, I don't know, like a commercial for like, I don't know, Thigh Highs or something, the way she was like bent over, like slowly putting on her shoe and like, you're gonna have to take my word for it. Oh my god, that bitch. You really shouldn't have. Oh. Um, so I drink. And it's so funny. Because I drink with the full intention of being obnoxious and just like, oh, you want to see what the center of attention looks like? Okay. And my ex, it sucks because he just thought I was so fun that night. Oh. Anyway, I just don't drink. And my ex went across town and he stayed above the flooded garage for like 5 days after I backhanded him. And he was trying to tell, like, because we were arguing through text, and he was trying to tell me that I am borderline personality. All of the symptoms apply to me, blah, 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 blah. And I need to talk to my psychiatrist and get a proper diagnosis. And then he kind of dropped it. And I was okay with him dropping it. We just didn't talk about me backhanding him. We didn't, I was still kind of like, what the fuck am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to fucking do. All my cats were over there. They were welcome there for the most part. And I knew I wasn't safe there. He was staying above the flooded garage. His stepmother was losing her fucking mind over it. Fuck him. How could he do this to me? Me. Of all the people in the world. Me. How could he just keeps, I'm tired of fucking me over. Like, oh, you fucking, oh. So, my ex-boyfriend stayed away for 5 days and he ignored every text she sent him, ignored every phone call she made to him, and that was him fucking her over. This woman walked in the kitchen after he attacked me, basically. But that was the final straw. It was him being gone for 5 days and ignoring her text messages. Okay. So, I mean, I'm like, really, what am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. He comes back, my ex comes back, and he had picked up my Adderall, and I think I had Xanax I was getting refilled too. He didn't pick up my bad dream pills. He didn't pick up my sleeping pills, but he got the good stuff. And he wouldn't give them to me. And so it turned into a thing. I'm knock, 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 knock. Because I had my own room at this point. Like, I had cleaned out his brother's room. His brother's room was really gross. It was just like this, the carpet was really stained and like it was full of furniture, and I moved everything out and I scrubbed the carpet. No, I'm sorry, I used my motherfucking steam cleaner. Boy, I sure fucking wish I had that. But anyway, I used my steam cleaner. And I had like candles and just, and I didn't want to share a room with my ex anymore. And I was trying to live there, and I was like, she would tell my ex that we could live there for free and not to worry, but she would tell me money was tight. And I'm like, I want to pay rent. So where can I sign a contract? Like, I wanted to make things fucking happen, not play these goddamn games. Dumpwing, my baby, meow, 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 meow. So, okay, I'm knocking. Point of that was he had kind of taken over my room because it was like the ambiance, and I had candles and like a thing over the light and just like mood lighting, kind of like this is I've got a pink glow because of my little party light over there, but it had a nice ambiance. And when he came back, though, obviously he was still smarting about the backhand. I mean, it was a good one. Instant blood gush. Just saying. That's what you get, motherfucker, talking about my dad. Anyway, I just can't tell you. You just don't understand. I had this inability to defend myself with him. Like, I just would clam the fuck up. I couldn't defend myself with him. I felt helpless. It was embarrassing. So when it was just like, I really felt like I unleashed the Kraken. I was back. I no longer had to worry. So he comes back with my medicine. He locks himself in his room. The second day that he was back, it's like, yeah, I'll take my medicine now. What's up, Dumpling? I'm smoking. Are you gonna go back outside, or come here? Let's snuggle then. Come here. Come here. Okay. I am knocking, and he's like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, fatty, whatever the fuck he's saying. Lovely things. And he opens the door a crack to talk some shit, and I try to shove my, oh, that's my little baby on camera. And I tried to like, I tried to shove past him, which was really stupid because he was really strong. He's really strong. And that didn't really work. Long story short, I end up in one of his infamous chokeholds. And you know, just kind of like the air feels really hot. It's pulsing. There's this vibrational, I can't breathe. And baby, here, I'll move it right here, and then you can lay on it, okay? Right there. There you go. Lay down. I can't really breathe, and nobody was home, right? But the dog, his dad's dog, Duke. I thought if I just kick the wall, the dog will hear the vibration. He'll come investigate and save me. And so I'm like trying to kick the wall. And the last thing I remember hearing him say is, "You don't like this, do you? You don't like this, do you?" And I could hear the grin in his face, though. "You don't like this, do you?" No, I don't. I really don't. And so I'm kicking the wall to get the dog's attention. And then his stepsister ended up being home, and her boyfriend. Long story short, they saved the day. They convinced him to let go of me. And then apparently his stepmom was home too, or she came home during the commotion. She comes running upstairs. And that was, I mean, you know, it was already obvious to me I wasn't safe there, but it was like, okay, this is the second time this fucking guy has been a maniac. She had no relationship with him. She always made that very clear. She didn't feel like his stepmom. She made that very clear too. She would say, "I have no loyalties to him. I barely know him. You can feel free to vent." And come to find out, she was everything I would tell her. She would go tell his dad and him. She was trying to be part of the boys' club, you know? Meanwhile, I'm like living upstairs, Eldridge, trapped, 2 broken feet, gimping around. It sucked. God damn, it sucked so bad. But my friend would call, and we would smoke our cigarettes, and she'd be like, "Is Dickhead being a dick?" And if he was, I would tell her. If he wasn't, whatever, you know? Like, she asked me, though. I didn't. I just didn't want to talk about him all the time. I know that. Why would I want to talk about him all the time? It was depressing. Fuck. Anyway. I knew I wasn't safe there. And even though she had no real relationship to him, and even though I was willing to pay rent and she was telling him he could live there for free, like, it was clear to me that it's not like she was going to make some choice where I was going to be victorious and have a place to live, right? And that was proven later when she was like, "Look, if you want to press charges against him, you should. You should press charges. Me and my daughter will," I really liked her daughter. She's a good kid. But we'll vouch for you. We witnessed what happened. You should get a restraining order. I didn't want to like do that. I didn't want to piss him off more, and I never ever wanted to get that motherfucker in trouble. I wanted that motherfucker to get well because I loved him and I wanted to be with him. And that's that. But no, I didn't get a restraining order. But I did pack up my car with as much of my shit as I could. And she was like, don't worry about your stuff. Don't worry about the rest of your cats. You've done so much for me. Least I can do is I'll take care of your babies while you're here. Don't worry. While they're here, don't worry. Don't worry. I won't. So I pack up as much as I can into my car because she had him leave. We didn't know how long till he comes back pissed, right? I pack up my car, I get my 2 orange babies. I drive to the flooded house and I'm like, man, if he's pissed though, I mean, I'm not safe here either. And plus, again, bird mites. I'm not even gonna try. Bird mites. And that's when I called my grandmother and I said, hey, can me and the cats come stay with you for 2 weeks or so? A couple weeks? And she said, well, yeah. And this is part 1.